Good morning, guys. It's Rick here from the 100th Hill. If you don't know me, I bring to you all the best information from everywhere that helps you be the best version of yourself that you can be. Now, this morning I'm in my gym gear. I'm about to go to the gym, but I thought I would do a quick video just to answer some questions that I had in follow-up to a previous video I did that's about 5 tips to be happier in life. Now, if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up in the cards somewhere up there above my head. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's an absolute banger, if I do say so myself. But the question came back, well, how do I form these habits? Because really those tips are all about how to form daily or weekly habits that put us in a more positive mind frame. So how do we form those habits? Well, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, so I'm not going to sit here and give you the science behind why certain things do or don't work. But I can share with you what I do and what has really worked very well for me, and that means there's probably a good chance it's going to work well for you too. So let's take a look. Now, for me, habits is all about streaks. Doing something day after day after day after day to the point where it's just part of your daily routine and you don't even have to think about it anymore. Now, I'm going to share with you my intentional habits list, but before I do that, I'll tell you one thing that's not on my intentional habits list, and yet somehow I do it every single day without even thinking about it multiple times, and that's brushing my teeth. And that's where we want to get to with these intentional habits. You start off with it having to be a really big part of your mindset, and you really have to focus on it. But if you do it for long enough, you get to the point where it's actually not something that you have to think about anymore, and you just do it every day without thinking about it. Now, it's mostly centered around this bad boy right here, because you do need to keep track of it. And you can't just think about when did I do this and when did I not do this. You have to hold yourself accountable. And that's where a great diary like this really comes in handy. Now, this is the MiGoals Goal Digger planner, or MiGoals. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I'm not affiliated with this brand in any way, obviously. I can't even say the name of it. But I'm sharing this with you because this really works for me. It's not just a regular journal or diary. This is designed to make it really easy for us to track our habits and the things that we are and aren't doing. Now, the first thing that I mentioned in the video for 5 tips to be happy was appreciating 3 things in our lives every single morning. And I don't think this is designed for this specific purpose, but it's perfect in that it's got 3 spaces every day for something. And for me, I use that for those 3 things that I appreciate every day. And for me, it's really important to write that down, because one thing that's for sure is I know that every single day this year I have written down 3 things that I appreciate in life. Now, I've just written down the 3 things that I appreciate in life for the morning, and that's put me in a really positive mind space. And then the next thing we've got over here, which is really important, is our little habits section. So for me, I've got 7 habits that I'm trying to form right now. The first one is making my bed. So it might sound really, really simple and stupid, but making a bed is a great, easy win for the day. It's the first box that I tick every single morning. It's an achievement, and it puts me in a great headspace to make more achievements. And I think that's really important, to give yourself an easy win for the day. This is not a game changer. Like, making your bed every day isn't going to change your life in some amazing way, but giving yourself an easy win might. So that's what the bed is about for me. I also exercise every day, so that's a really important thing for me to keep track of. I also am learning Spanish because why the fuck not? Or por qué no? I'm also trying to limit the junk food that I have, all the crap, the sugar and stuff that I tend to eat and love. I try to meditate every day. I haven't done that every single day. Reading is a really important part for me for learning and then the act of kindness as well. And again, I mentioned in the happiness video that sometimes it's hard to perform an act of kindness every single day, but it's something that if I keep myself accountable for it and I realize that I'm building a streak of not doing that, then it's higher on my list of priorities of things for me to do. Now, There's another way that you can form a habit, which is sometimes known as the Seinfeld Method. And it's called that because Jerry Seinfeld once said that for a comedian to get better at what they do, he said that they should write a joke every single day. And whether it's a good or joke or a bad joke, it didn't really matter. But writing a joke every single day was the practice to becoming a better comedian. And what he did was he had a calendar, a wall calendar, and he would mark off every single day that he wrote a joke. And that was his way of keeping himself accountable. But what's important here is he put this calendar in a very visible spot that he would have no choice but to see several times, maybe dozens of times a day, to the point where he could not ignore whether or not he had written a joke for that day. And I do something similar for something that's really important to me, and that's this. So for the 100th Hill, you know, whether it's writing or researching or editing or filming, I make sure that I hold myself accountable for doing some work on this every single day. Now, do I do it every day? No, sometimes life is too busy. But when I see those red crosses in there, it makes me think I need to get my shit together and get back to work. Because you don't want to get too many of those red crosses, because they just stares at you and it makes it really hard for you to get on with your day without doing some hard work. And so that's about it. But there's a few more points that I'd like to make here, especially about this whole diary thing. Now, firstly, don't be a tight ass. Don't write this on a notepad or something like that. Make it easy for yourself. Give yourself a diary which has all the days marked out, has the habits marked out. You don't want to have to sit there and draw a little box for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So make it easy for yourself. Treat yourself. Get yourself something nice. For me, this MiGoals Goal Digger is, and I'll put a link in the description for it, is really the best product that I've seen that can enable this. On top of that, I bought a pen as well. I got a really nice pen for this, and it also came from MiGoals, but that doesn't really matter. Just get a nice pen for this. Now, this pen sits in the book all the time, and I only use this, the only paper this pen touches is this paper right here. And that might sound a little bit overs, but really what this is about is holding myself accountable to the point where I really feel like I have to continue on with this practice. So particularly early on, when you might feel like you can't be bothered doing it, or you sometimes let it slip, the fact that I've spent $60 or $70 on this combination right here makes me feel like I should not let this slip. Like, get your shit together and put it down on paper and keep it together. The other thing is, this is designed to be visible. Don't hide it in a drawer or something. Don't tuck it away. Don't put it in the corner. Have it like Seinfeld's calendar. Have it somewhere that's visible, that you can't ignore. You have to walk past it. You have to get it out of the way to ignore it. So you may as well just do it when you see it. So anyway, that's about it for habit forming. It might seem really, really simple, but it's actually really fucking hard. Like, if it was easy, Netflix and Xbox would be out of business. We'd all be doing amazing productive things with our lives and our time, but we don't. And so this is one of the great ways that you can overcome that and do more of the stuff that you want to do. Thanks for watching, guys. If you got something out of this, make sure you subscribe, because there's heaps of other great content that I'm sure you're going to get plenty out of. If you liked it, give us a cheeky thumbs up. That's only the right thing to do. Don't forget to brush your teeth, but for now, it's hooroo from Rick.